I feel like the last time we talked to you, you had one job. You just had beach.
That's all I had.
Now you
And I
have
didn't even know-
everything. Are you exhausted?
But now you really get to do beach. You actually beached in this.
I
Oh,
did.
you beached.
Oh,
Yeah.
you beached.
I did. I beached my best.
I mean, do you think Ken even knows what beaching is? But like, I feel
no.
like Colt Seavers knows what
well, he got
beaching is.
intimately close with it. You kept
Yeah.
throwing him down into it and setting him on fire.
And you're very obsessed with sand. You actually touch sand.
I had some sand concerns.
some sand concerns.
And some of them actually come out in the film.
The
It
sand
made me look at
concerns?
sand different.
Yeah, the sand
Cult
was
sand
loose, guys. It was
concerns.
Well,
loose.
this is what I learned from Logan, who broke the
Yes.
record for most cannon rolls in a film that day. He was like, yeah, if the density of the sand is not right, you can't do it. I
All
mean,
the
Who
variables.
knew?
The wind, the engineering
Who knew
of the
that
car.
the density of the sand, the king tide, if it hasn't come
Yeah,
in, you're
I
not going to
know.
do it. The wind.
What do we know?
It's a very educational film, actually. I learned a lot.
But it's more like recess than school. Right?
That is true.
Okay.
All right, let's get that clear.
A cannon roll? It's time for you to start rolling cards again instead of parking them.
Speaking of the 8.5 barrel rolls, and I know, is it cannon rolls?
Cannon roll.
Barrel
Cannon
rolls?
roll.
Yeah.
I guess that makes more
You can
sense.
call them barrel rolls if you want.
Oh, okay.
Barrel roll.
Isn't the barrel roll like that dance?
Go on, do it. Get up.
Please do. We've got the
I
space.
Need to stretch my
He needs to
hammies.
lunge out a little bit first.
Is there something, though, and I know the focus was on the 8.5 rolls, is there something that you all have done or experienced that honestly once is enough?
I don't need to be dropped 12 stories off of a building again.
Okay.
I can feel like
You check that?
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Mexican bean dip. That's a one and done.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like a bean dip.
No, it doesn't like
Why?
you.
I don't like
It
it.
doesn't like you.
It doesn't like me, trust me.
It does not. It does not. It's
Yeah,
the
I'd
only
say
one,
no
really.
to a bean dip. I'm like,
The
I'll
only
pass.
person I've ever met that didn't like you
I hate it, yeah.
was a bean dip.
They have a real issue with me. I don't know what it is.
Tom?
Can I bring up something that I
Thank
think is
you.
going to be overlooked in this film, no different than stunt people over the years? The Post-its. I mean, to me, the Post-its...
Isn't it? I actually wish I could see all of them.
Same. The Post-it notes. I feel like you are giving them their rightful due. Who actually wrote those Post-it notes?
That's a great, that's a fun story. I'm glad you brought it up. So, you know, when we were working on the script, we were, you know, there's always these sort of, the investigation that Colt is really following is kind of a setup, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's, doesn't have to be that great of an investigation. And when we were writing the script, we were like, how's he going to find the final clue? And then we thought, wouldn't it be funny to unpack Tom Ryder's character through all his thought bubbles, right? And so what if he was obsessed with Post-it notes and we could like get inside his head, because we don't really meet him till the late in the second act.
Yeah.
He kind of haunts the movie. And so it just became a fun comedic device to get inside this actor's head, this neurotic actor's head.
How many did you come up
Oh,
with?
I
'Cause they are
can't. I'm
so
sad it's
you.
over because it was just all my spare
They're
time was just
so-
like texting David Post-it ideas.
They are so him, all of those jokes. My favorite was, is it Momoa or Momoa? I mean, it was just so good.
It was so fun. Art department had the best time. Like
Oh.
everyone was like, there was notepads around and people could write stuff and put it on the wall, and like everyone was joining in that day to dress the set.
I feel like people will see this more than once at a Harkins theater, preferably, but go just to honestly try to read the Post-its because
Yeah.
you don't catch a lot of them and you need to go back and read those.
Just wondering, after this movie, if I don't go to prison.
This is all about the people that make us look cool. In your opinion, what is the coolest thing the person sitting next to you has done?
Worn this cardigan.
Oh my God.
Sick.
She just, she shines her light on you. It's just like, this is your key light right here. It's just kind of like. I'm
Okay,
just
maybe a
here to
past film
reflect
role.
This
it.
is your Marlena Dietrich coming right at you.
Look at her 10K, a couple of 10Ks right there, just pointing right at
A
you.
couple of headlamps just coming right at you.
Why are you here?
I think there's been a misunderstanding.
Clearly.
The chemistry, I know everyone's asking you this. This may be a silly question. You've had chemistry with other co-stars. I've done press junkets with you where the chemistry is fantastic.
Oh, she has it
Way
with everyone.
more
Come
with
on,
other
let's not
both
act like
do.
it's not special.
Oh, please, this one could have chemistry with that mic stand.
No,
you could have
don't.
like a.
You could do it with a
give it
garbage
a
can.
soliloquy.
A mic stand,
and-
sure. A garbage can's harder, and I've seen her do it.
Have you ever had a past co-star that you had a ton of chemistry with call you because they were a little jealous of the chemistry you have with another co-star?
I don't think I've ever had a Jelly Belly co-star call up about that afterwards. I'm hoping that maybe I'll have chemistry with someone else, and you'll be like, what the F?
I know. What stunt people do, obviously, cool is the word everybody uses. You are super cool. You've been a stunt person for Brad Pitt. You call this a love letter to stunt people. Did Brad Pitt ever write you a love letter? Or what is the nicest thing he ever did for you?
Oh my God, he's done so many nice things for me. Again, like actually just, calling me again to be his stunt double after I really messed up on the movie The Mexican. One day on the Mexican set, I was driving for him, the El Camino that's in that movie,
Yep.
and I'm supposed to just slide it through this intersection. And I was coming in too hot, and I overcorrected, and I realized I'm heading towards Video Village, and everyone's scrambling away. Oh my God! So I cranked the wheel around the other way, and the only other thing to crash it into safely was the other El Camino, the backup.
Yep.
And so I destroyed both El Caminos, and so, needless to say, production was I'm livid. And so I think the nicest thing Brad ever did for me was call me back. And say, you still want a double for me? Yeah, he gave me more than a second chance, but
He saw something in you. He saw that there was potential.
I think he saw the whole thing as funny and let's just keep this guy around.
Can you believe I actually did that junket? That was probably the last time I talked to him one-on-one was for the Mexican. I did that junket that long ago. That's how long I've been doing this. In the Fall Guy, again, there's so many stunts to talk about, but what is the art of actually falling, looking like you're in control, but a fall, you're never really in control. But it is the coolest fall.
Yeah.
And there are several in this.
There are several in this. I mean, there's one sort of pinnacle high fall at the end, which is really special because the high fall is a lost art. With modern technology, we use wires and we'll erase them in post and we'll do a lot of different things that can maybe make it more safe. But for years, we just would fall into an airbag or into boxes or you would just fall. And there are a few guys left that are still keeping that art alive. And Troy Brown is a young stunt performer whose dad holds the world record for high falls into an airbag. And he came and did the high fall out of the helicopter for us in that movie, and it's real. It's all real. That was sort of the mandate for this movie. If we're going to make a movie that's honoring stunts about a stuntman, let's do some practical, old school stunts and really try to, do them big.
You got this. You're the one.
Why are you gonna say that? Why are you gonna say that?
You've done this a million times.
Harkins Theaters, the largest independently owned theater chain in the U.S., which is where
Bosh.
everybody gets to
The
see.
big one.
Congratulations.
Tara Hitchcock
you so
in
much.
full effect.
This is the first time.
Live and in the flesh.
It's slightly like looking at a
weird.
mirror.
A little bit.
Call the cops.
This film is all about, obviously, the people who make the actors look cool.
100%.
What would you say your friends think is the coolest thing each of you has actually done?
My brother would 100% say this because he and I were obsessed with Lee Majors as little kids. So when I said I was doing this, he just said the F word a lot.
Okay.
There's no greater.
Finally?
I
You
think-
said finally.
Yeah, finally.
I think my sister would agree this because I had no idea that she had a crazy crush on Ryan Gosling, and he gave her a kiss on set one day. Aww. And she acted cool. We got to the car, and then she's like, "Ryan just kissed me. He kissed me. This is your best job ever." So I think she thinks this one's the best. Yeah.
There's a scene, it's in the trailer, the sexy bacon, and you go like this, and Ryan goes, what is this? What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know if that question was actually ever answered. What is this?
Well, when you have like a dog how you got to give them a tablet. I literally made it up on the spot. I'm not entirely sure where it came from, but whenever I've given dogs like tablets from the vet, and you wrap it in a little bit of bacon, it makes it a little sexy and enticing for them. So Jodie is the sexy bacon.
I didn't know what this actually
Yes.
meant.
Yes.
It's time for you to start rolling cars again instead of parking them.
A lot of people talking about the role, obviously. It's one thing to be a part of that stunt. What was it like to be on set that day?
Oh man, it was just electric, That was the day that the stunts team, one of the days that they really shined the most too. And you got to see how much of the work that they're doing, right? So they're also keeping everyone safe on set, and not just the stunts team, but the entire set, right? Making sure everybody's outside of the blast radiuses for the explosions, and their timing and planning everything. And then once it went off, everybody charges onto that beach, and it's just like super beautiful.
It was so cool to watch. So as they wrap me, what is something that you all have done? Because they make a big deal out of the 8.5 rolls and the world record.
Yes.
What is something you all have done and once is enough? You don't need to do it 7 or 8 times. We're good with just one.
I mean, 100% being waterboarded for 10 hours. That's not happening again.
Yeah, you're
But
good.
if I'm going to do it, Game of Thrones, I'm good. Anyone else, you can do one.
I like her answer. I don't want to be waterboarded.
Okay.
There you go.
Not even once.
I'll have it
Even
on your
once.
behalf.
There you go.
What are you doing?
Just chilling down.
You been crying to Taylor Swift?
Doesn't everyone?
To